BetOrs.com.
Sometimes the smartest things to do on paper don't end up helping out your bankroll, and that was my case last week when I went against Oregon State. Thought they were in a tough situation, guys, and they ended up covering the spread against Arizona State after dropping down by 11 early and 19-10. But they were the better team, and I was on the wrong side with Arizona State. I'm just going to say this: I'm not going to grab or lay the points here against Oregon State. Marco, Stanford a 4.5-point favorite at home to Oregon State. The total at 44.5. I think Mike Riley's just doing an absolutely amazing job. Here's what he's done that a lot of coaches won't do, and he's done this twice. He actually decided after Sean Mannion got hurt, of course he's got Vaz, the backup at the time, comes in. He leaves him in there even when Mannion first started coming back. But then last week he says, well, I'm going to start Sean Mannion. He's 100% healthy now. Mannion starts getting some of the snaps. His team's behind. You know what a lot of coaches would do? They would be bullheaded and stubborn and ride it out, saying, well, we don't replace a guy because of injury, and when he comes back, it's his job. Mike Riley's like, heck with that. I want to win football games. Cody Vaz comes in. He's going to start in this game in Stanford. He's the guy that should be behind center for the Beavers.
I agree with you. And there's also a coaching or quarterback change for Stanford as well. And Stanford last week gave backup a start. Kevin Hogan, he came in, had decent numbers. I mean, he played well, but let's look at who they played.
Exactly.
They played Colorado, and we talked about Colorado, absolutely the worst team in the Pac-12, and they're probably one of the worst teams in college football. I'd rank them right there. Oregon State, fundamentally sound top to bottom. Defense is the key to this team. That's what makes this team go, and they're a physical team. And that's something that not too many, you can't say that about too many Pac-12 teams. They're finesse teams. They like to go up and down the field. And Stanford is one of those physical teams too, and that's why they've had so much success over the last few years, especially against Southern Cal. But Oregon State is just as strong. I think this is a great spot for Oregon State. We lost a little bit of line value. Some wise guys here in town, or sharps, jumped on this line early and ate up a little bit of the value. But I still have Oregon State in this game, plus the points.
Well, don't reveal too much yet.
Yeah, well,
free pick coming in just
it is a free pick, but obviously you know which way I'm leaning in this one.
Well, I tell you what, I like both of these coaches, Bryan Shaw and Riley, and of course, like Marco said, I think they chose the right time to give Kevin Hogan a chance to be a hero. But
anyway,
there we go.
I was holding out the whole time. But, I have nothing else to say. I'm out here.
There you go. But again, he did it against Colorado. But it was a great time to try to change a quarterback. And here's the problem with Stanford all season long, with Josh Nunez in there at quarterback, they're all underneath passes. It's tight ends, running backs out of the backfield. If you don't stretch the defense against a team like Oregon State, your offense is done.
Since you stole my comedy routine, I'm going to steal some of his thunder here because I got an idea of what he's going to say in his finale, but how the hell with Marco. Anyway, the Beavers play very well on the road this year. They win outright at UCLA, Arizona, and BYU, and their only loss was 3 points at Washington. They had a -3 turnover differential in that one. And you take a look at Stanford. This is a team, it's one of the situations I like to look at. They pounded Oregon State the last 2 years, winning 38-13, 38-0. Who's up on deck? Oregon, a team that they've really had trouble with the last 2 years. I think they overlook Oregon State here, and I agree. I think Oregon State's the right side.
Touche, because I was going to mention that as I threw it to Marco about Oregon being up next. But anyway, your free pick, sir. Go ahead.
I got nothing left. They took all my stuff. Now, the one thing that we got to look at is I want to go back to the backup quarterback. And last week it was easy for him. But you're going against a defense that has held 5 of the last 8 opponents to 100 yards or less rushing the ball. If you can't rush the ball, you're going to become one-dimensional. You do not want a backup quarterback becoming a one-dimensional offense, and that's what I fear is going to happen to the Stanford quarterback in this game. I like Oregon State here. I think they win the game outright. The money that came in, it was sharp money. It's the right money. I agree with it. This is a play that I gave out early in the week on Monday on my Betting First Look show, and I'm going to follow up with it here. We're going to take Oregon State plus the points. I have them winning the game outright. 23-16 should be a low-scoring game. You might want to look at the under in this one, too.
Marco's all over the Beavers, and a little bit of a complimentary play there on the under. What are you laughing at? Anyway, when we come back, we're going to the NFL on Sunday. The Broncos and the Panthers. That's a big play for Bryan Leonard. Back in just a bit right here at pregame.tv.